Today what I am just doing for you guys is this really creepy clown girl look, and I did a poll on my Twitter asking what you guys wanted to see: the creepy clown girl, a sexy cat, or a fortune teller, and you guys picked the creepy clown girl, as I'm sure you guys can tell by my really extra intro. Sorry about that, I was just getting into the feel of Halloween and I was just about those creepy vibes. The first thing that I'm doing is just popping on some bright purple eyeshadow. I've used two of the colors from the Big Eyes palette. I think it's number 5, called Luminous Purple from Maybelline. I'll link it down below. Unfortunately, the colors didn't have names on them, so I can't refer to the individual ones. Then they also have 2 lighter shades in the palette, which I've just applied into the center. It's quite like a yellowish kind of a tone. Before I did start doing my eyes, I just popped on some foundation as well as some setting powder. On the lower lash line, I'm just popping on some eyeshadow by Barry M, and this one also didn't have a name, it's just in the shade 8. When I think of clowns, I think of quite bright, garish colors, so that's why I thought that the purple, the kind of turquoisey blue, and the yellow shades would be quite fun and playful together. Not the kind of shades that I would use on a daily basis, as I usually go for like more browns, but I thought for this clown look and for Halloween, anything goes really. Next, I'm just going in with my black shade from my Oh So Special palette from Sleek. I really love this palette and most of Sleek's eyeshadows, so I use these quite frequently in my tutorials. I just wanted to darken up the look a little bit, make it look a little bit more creepy. To blend those all nicely together, I'm just using this fluffy blending brush from Accessorize. I didn't feel like the yellow shade was quite bright enough, so I've just wet my eyeshadow brush so that the payoff is just a little bit richer. Then just going back in with the blue Barry M eyeshadow, just a little bit over the yellow shade to intensify it. For eyeliner, I decided to try a new product. I went with the MUA Wet Look eyeliner, and I thought that I would try this out because I thought that it would look pretty cool with the look, like a nice contrast to the kind of the glitter. I was slightly disappointed though, because I found that the eyeliner was a little bit cracky when it dried. But it worked fine for the look, but it wasn't as easy to work with as I would have hoped. This was actually my first time ever wearing contact lenses, and I ordered them off Amazon. I think they were around like £9. But when I first put them into my eyes, I just found it to be so uncomfortable that I had to wait for so long for my eyes to stop watering. And I think that combined with the eyeliner wasn't really going that well for me. You can see me like fluttering my eyes, so I had to go off camera for a little bit. I wanted to try and blend out the eyeliner a little bit, and I decided to go with another new product for this. I chose the Crazy Smoky Creamy Shadow Pencil from Miss Sporty, and I thought that this would have been a nice option because it's also a little bit sparkly. I wanted to go with quite a defined brow for this look instead of like a fluffy, kind of a softer brow that I would usually go for, and I chose to go with the Rimmel London Waterproof Gel Eyeliner in the shade 002, which is brown. And this is an eyeliner, of course, but I know that the payoff is really good, so I wanted to have something that would last for the whole night and have a nice sharp point at the end. And for mascara, I decided to go with the Studio Lash Dark Lasher from Miss Sporty. This is a really affordable mascara, and I feel like it's a great one just to have with you as a staple and take around with you in your bag and day to day. To add to the kind of creepiness of the look, I wanted to do a little bit of red eyeshadow under my eyes, and to do this I used my Ultimate Face Sculpting Palette from Primark. I still wasn't completely happy with the way that my eyeshadow looked underneath, so I decided just to go back in with my black eyeshadow from the Oh So Special palette again, and just using a smaller eyeshadow brush, just darkening that up along the bottoms. For my contour, I decided to mix together two shades from the Ultimate Face Sculpting palette, the kind of bronzing shade as well as the sculpting shade. And then I've also included a little bit of that black color from my Oh So Special palette, just to intensify the look a little bit more, kind of make it look a little bit more grungy and evil. I also forgot to mention that I just applied some fake eyelashes off camera. These are from the Galactic range at Primark. I'm not completely sure if clowns wear highlighter, but I just couldn't help myself, and I've used a little bit of the highlighter from that same Ultimate Face palette from before. Just using that same eyeshadow from the Oh So Special palette just to start the beginnings of the black streaks through the eyes. To create the clown nose, I'm just using that same crazy smoky crayon pencil. I just started off by drawing the outside of the circle, and then I'm just colouring that in with the crayon. I thought that this would be quite cool because it's got some sparkles in, and I thought it would be a nice contrast to the eyes. To do the white dots on the nose, I've just used my PS Chick Flick eyeliner, and I probably wouldn't recommend this just because the payoff wasn't as good as I would have hoped. And then on top of this, I've just gone in with my Kiko glitter eyeliner, and this is in the shade 1, and I just wanted to intensify the sparkle even more. I originally thought that I would go in with 3 different lip shades, but I've only actually used 2 of them, and I was just being a little bit ambitious. So I'm first going in with the Matte Velvet lipstick from NYX, and this is in the shade Midnight. I've overlined my lips slightly, and I've just made the smile quite creepy by extending it a little bit. On top of this, I'm just popping my Velvet Lip Lacquer from MUA, and this is in the shade Unity. I thought that these two made a really cool shade when blended together, almost like a very subtle lilac baby blue. Onto the center of my lip, I thought it would be quite fun just to place a little bit more of that glitter gel liner from Kiko. On the corners of my mouth, I'm just placing some more of that red shade, the same one that I've got underneath my eyes. I just thought that this would make it look a little bit more creepy, almost as if my mouth has been bleeding. Now I'm just going to start drawing out where I want the slits through my eyes to be. I found that the eyeliner that I was using here was a little bit drier than I had anticipated. I think the main reason for this was actually because it had dried out a little bit, and I should probably have stopped using that one and changed to a different one or another one of my gel eyeliners, but I think I was in a kind of stubborn mood and just decided to use it anyway, and it didn't really end up blending the way I wanted it to. It was a little bit patchy in places. To make the look slightly more dramatic, I'm just going in with a little bit more of that crazy smoky creamy shadow pencil just to make the eyes look a little bit more glittery and the spikes to be a little bit darker and more blended in. Again, I'm just using a little bit more of that same red shade from my Primark eyeshadow palette and just putting that around the slits on the eyes on the bottom and the top. Sorry, I keep calling them like slits or lines in different words. I don't really know what to actually call them. Finally, I'm just popping on some Diamante at the bottom of the spikes. These are just ones that I have from my scrapbooking. You can actually use proper ones, or if you're going out for a long night, you can just glue these on. So guys, this is the finished look of the creepy clown. I am pretty happy with it. It's quite easy to achieve this look, and luckily for Halloween it is easy to just be quite messy and it doesn't really matter. The only thing that I'm not really that happy with is the tops of my points. The one went slightly inwards and I kind of had to match the other one to it, but I would want them to be slightly more straight, like slits through my eyes. So I'd say that's the only thing that I'm not that happy with, but otherwise, like, it doesn't really matter, it doesn't really make a difference. So my first one, I don't think it's that bad, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And if you do recreate this look, please tag me or send me your pictures. I would absolutely love that. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell.